Hello silly gooses, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new here. Really happy to have you here in the pond. We are just doing some housekeeping. I have so many books that I am currently reading, and I need to just like clear it out as much as I can, so I have a clean slate. And also, I am about like a week and a half away from leaving on vacation for 2 weeks. So I just have a lot that I kind of need to get done and organized to feel like I can leave and actually be relaxed, you know? So we're just aiming for a chill, casual, satisfying, cozy housekeeping time. Like, I don't do a lot of not overly ambitious projects, so we're gonna keep this casual. There is at least 3 books that we're gonna read in this vlog that I have started in some degree. Need a little bit of accountability to help me finish. The first one is Bookshops and Bone Dust. It has been just like my cozy escape book for weeks. Like, I've just been reading like a chapter at a time and I need it to just be done. And I'm really enjoying it, but like, it's been drawn on too long, and I just feel like if I keep dragging it out, my reading experience will suffer, because, you know, when you've been reading a book for so long, you start to forget like the earlier things that happened in the book. So I'd rather just like complete that, tie it up with a bow, and call it a day. And I really am enjoying it so far, and we'll talk more about it as we get into it also. But then another one that we will be reading and finishing in this video is The World We Make by N.K. Jemisin, which is the second and final book in the Great Cities duology. I'm only like a quarter of the way through The World We Make, so it's due back at my library in a week. So this is the perfect excuse. It's the timelines, the deadlines are all matching up. This series, the Great Cities duology, is an urban fantasy where great cities, once they reach a certain maturity as like a city, as a culture, the city will like magically dedicate a human avatar that like embodies the spirit and culture and community of that city. And in the first book, The City We Became, it actually is, it's New York City, and the city not only chooses an avatar for New York City, but it chooses an avatar for each of the boroughs in the city. And there's a lot of wild events that happen in The City We Became. I love that book, and so far The World We Make is also great. I'm enjoying it, but I am still pretty early on in it, so we'll see how it feels as we continue. Then the other one that I have started and need to finish is Amari and the Great Game, because I think the 3rd book is either about to come out or the 4th book is about to come out. No, I think it's the 3rd one, because Amari and the Great Game is just book 2. Yep, so Amari and the Despicable Wonders is the 3rd book in the Supernatural Investigator series, which is scheduled for release on August 27th, 2024. So I want to be caught up in the series because I'm pretty sure I talked to Monique about doing a buddy read when the 3rd book comes out. So Amari and the Great Game is the second after Amari and the Night Brothers, which is a middle grade fantasy featuring a wizard school, and Amari discovering that 1, she is magic, and 2, her being magic and her family having magical abilities is connected to her older brother's mysterious disappearance that happens before the start of the book. And so it's partly her discovering this magical world and also trying to solve the mystery of what happened to her brother. That's the 1st book. So obviously it's a series, but now I'm in the 2nd book in the series, and it's really good, and I'm just so happy to be back in this world with these sweet characters. I just love them. I love a magic school. If we can get through those 3, I will feel very accomplished. So I'm not going to bite off more than I can chew right now, but there are, I'm looking at like my currently reading shelf over here, and there are some other books on that shelf that I would love to actually finish. Some of them have been there for like a minute. They're basically like soft DNFs at this point that I would just prefer to complete and be done and get them off my damn shelf. My like limbo currently reading purgatory shelf. So that is going to be extra credit if we make it through these first 3. So I'm going to continue on. I've been listening to Amari as I kind of run errands today. And I think I am going to keep listening as I clean the house up a little bit. And then once I get nice and cozy and my house is clean, then I think I can finish up Bookshops and Bone Dust tonight. That's my plan. Oh, I also have a fun like summer barbecue recipe that I want to try tonight, and Wes will be home probably around 7. It's currently almost 5 o'clock, so actually I probably need to start getting that ready to throw on the smoker pretty soon. I'm gonna try these smoked zucchini boats because thank you to my backyard garden, we have zucchini coming out of our ears. So I've been trying to get as creative as possible with all things zucchini because it's just out of control. So I'm going to try some zucchini boats, see what else I can throw together for dinner. We just got all kinds of things. So get cozy, grab yourself a little beverage, and thanks for hanging out with me. I'm going to go read more Amari and clean my kitchen.
Everything around me looks a little great. Ever since you found out, worry about my brain. I just need a time out, probably just a sprain. It's okay, baby, it's okay. Got a lot of words you don't know how to say. Pull out all your big ones, tryna flip my face. I give you a big hug, say I'm feeling great. It's okay, baby, it's okay. I don't wanna see you worry, but if you come on too early, if you make my toes too curly, and if you really have on me, baby, get hold that roll, how to get it so wrong. Get it sometimes you cold, on a big problem though, yeah. Cause to me you're an angel. If you ask me why, I say yeah, yo. Everything around me looks a little great. Ever since you found out, worry about my brain. I just need a time out, probably just a sprain. It's okay, baby, it's okay. Got a lot of words you don't know how to say. Pull out all your big ones, tryna flip my face. I give you a big hug, say I'm feeling great. It's okay, baby, it's okay.
I'm alright, everything's fine, everything good, everything nice. Don't pull the curtain to something uncertain, just live in your line. Taking a drive, stay in your lane. Don't veer off, like go insane. Think of your brain as a shelter in place. Don't let no one in, just lock up your chains. Change to be feared if you hear what they're saying. On the news, feeding us views. Them feel good to be tame. Taking my feet, treat it as truth. Ooh, ain't it a breeze to forget how to speak and let them do the speaking for you. Ooh, learn to feel free and to get your freedom, decisions be made by the group.
Mama told me, safer folding. Trying to carve yourself a space, bend over backwards, let the those run us right down the drain.
Everything around me looks a little great. Ever since you found out, worry about my brain. I just need a time out, probably just a sprain. It's okay, baby, it's okay. Got a lot of words you don't know how to say. Pull out all your big ones, tryna flip my face. I'll give you a big hug, say I'm feeling great. It's okay, baby, it's okay.
Hello, good morning. Welcome to a completely new angle. It's Sunday morning. I think I'm just gonna redo my nails, even though I have like a week before I leave on vacation, and I know that I'm gonna redo my nails before I leave, but I just don't like having crusty nails because if this is where I'm at right now. If I have gross nails, I'm going to pick at my nails. So if I have nice, polished nails, then I enjoy having them done, so I don't mess with them. And I kind of talked about this in my last vlog too, just in like text over some B-roll, but doing my nails has been so like emotionally healing for me, but I've just learned that it's like a key part of my like self-care, and taking the time to like do this like little meaningless thing for myself just purely because I know it brings me joy. And I used to have it, like growing up, I had this terrible, terrible nail biting habit, like so awful. My nails were bitten down to the absolute quick. My cuticles were always like bloody and crusty. And I just thought, oh, I'll never have like nice nails. Then I started getting acrylics in college and cured my nail biting habit because you cannot chomp on acrylics. That's just not a thing. And it taught me that I really like having nice nails. Like I like having my hands look nice with my nails done. And then I stopped getting acrylics. I just didn't like how they felt on my nails, especially when they start to grow out or lift and then your hair gets stuck underneath them in the shower. Like that just, I just couldn't do it that anymore. Anyways, the point of the story is in my mid-20s, I got really into being a princess about my own nail routine. And I didn't understand what beauty influencers mean by like a holy grail product until this little miracle bottle. And I don't feel this way about any other product, beauty or otherwise, but this is my holy grail. It's called Nail Teaks, and it's like a nail strengthener formula. They have like a Formula 2 and a Formula 1 that's like a smaller pink bottle that I started using in the beginning because it's like for more extreme like breakage or damage on your nails, and now I mostly use the Formula 2. And I swear, when people ask me, my nails aren't actually very long right now, but they are strong, and I never ever thought I would have like strong, nice, natural nails. And anytime I'm asked like, oh my gosh, those are your nails, what do you do? It's like $6. That's my tip of the day for you. So I use this as a base coat. And then for my actual polish, since becoming a person who just loves to do their nails at home, I have had so much fun buying the punniest, most ridiculous named polishes. And sometimes they're not even like pretty colors, but it just brings me joy knowing my nails are painted something stupid. A hilarious example is that this color that's chipping off my nails right now is called I Quit My Day Job. And sometimes this is what I paint my nails when I just need an extra little boost, you know? And I just got this one the other day because it's so perfect for my trip coming up. It's called Alpaca My Bags. I'm literally going to Montana to see alpacas and other yeehaw things. So this will be the next one. And right now I'm in between these two, which are radically different colors from each other. But this is like a light periwinkle blue called Bikini So Teeny. And this is like a bright orange called Catch Me If You Clam. And I think I'm leaning towards the orange because it is like bright and summery, and I'm about to go next week will be like a gray blue. So I think that's the vibe. But I know that I do really like this light blue too. So I'm sure this will make its way back in the rotation soon. Anyways, I did not mean for this to be like diversion into nail care, but I think while I take this chipping polish off, I'll at least talk to you about Amari. I'm about 50 or 60% through Amari and the Great Game. And I'm really loving it. I mean, I expected that I would be loving it, but it's just so much fun. And something that I love about middle grade books in particular is that they are so smart. Like, you know that these books are written for kids as their like intended audience. And I love when a middle grade book takes the kids seriously and like treats the kids like they are smart kids, because there's so many points in Amari and the Night Brothers and Amari and the Great Game that's like, wow, this is for kids, and it is clever and interesting, and it's not holding their hands. Like it's trusting the audience to be along for the ride, and it's trusting the audience to not be confused. And there's something about it that just I really I really love in a middle grade book, when you can tell that it's written in a way that like just trusts the kids to understand and to be thrilled and to be engaged and to be putting it together. Hopefully that makes sense, but it's something that I always notice, and I notice when it's not done well also. Like when a middle grade book is very hand-holdy, nothing turns me off so fast. I'm like, no, like kids are so smart and kids pick up on everything, and you do not need to, especially kids that read, like you do not need to handhold kids through a fantasy imagination plot. Like kids are really good at that. They do not need the handicap on that. That's something that I really love about B.B. Alston's writing so far. And the actual plot is so fun because I'm not going to spoil it because obviously it's the second in a series. There is like a secret element of the plot that Amari is dealing with only a couple people that she can really talk to about it. And it's a pretty high stakes secret plot. And she's also dealing with like a more public high stakes plot at the same time. So it's really like two stories in one. Like Amari, you feel like, and I think she feels like she's living like a double life right now because there's so much going on both in her more public world, because after the first book she is kind of a public figure as a kid, and in this like secret life, there's still a really high stakes situation going on. So it is action packed, certainly, and I'm just so excited to see where the rest of the book goes. I thought about doing a whole separate vlog for this, but I have a feeling it's going to be fixed in this vlog, so I'll talk about it here. But I am on a 5-star drought. A drought. It's July right now, and I have read one 5-star book this entire year, and it was Wildfire by Hannah Grace, which I loved. Like, obviously, I gave it 5 stars, I enjoyed it, but there's no way that is the only 5-star I've read, but it is. So, I'm on a quest. I'm on a quest to cure this 5-star drought. Like, I don't understand. I've read plenty of 4 stars this year. I've read plenty of books that I've really enjoyed, but I just haven't felt that, like, 5-star feeling in months. I think I read Wildfire in like February. So I'm in that like pre-reading slump phase where it's like, do I even like reading? Do I know what good books are? Is this even fun anymore? Not to be dramatic, but like, do you know what I mean? So I'm just really desperate for a book that gives me that 5-star feeling, 5-star experience, because if I don't find it soon, I think I'm gonna enter a slump, which I don't want to do, because I kind of just found my way back to YouTube. So for me to reading slump now would be quite inconvenient. Okay, we are clean and ready for Catch Me If You Clam. I'm currently watching Gavin's 5-star prediction video, books that subscribers think he's gonna give 5 stars to get me in the 5-star mood. And I'm going to paint my nails and then get back to putting my house together. Actually, it's pretty clean. I just need to like fold some laundry and do like little things. And then I'll be back to listening to Amari. And that is our cozy Sunday. Actually, first I need to refill my coffee and then we're gonna paint my nails. Okay.
I got a pack, you know what I'm saying? I don't even know what I just go with what I got on, you know what I'm saying?
Duffel bag filled to the T. When I look at what I see, I could truly say that's all me. Pack my things up, make some pit stops. Catch me in the hilltops on the side of the country. Came back from being down 1-3. We the 16 Cavaliers, whole team hungry. Keep the family roots like we came from one tree. One branch, one leaf. Had to embark on this voyage. Double parked in the Taurus. Thank the ones before us to let us peep this was for us. Turn porous into pour up. Nas Bellinis in 3 letters, what they call us. She in bikinis, I make it rain in her for us. Tropical forecast where the water be the purest. Can't get back time watching your wrist. Stay no
rich. All that music brought us and it taught us. Spread it to your sons and daughters, cause my duffel bag filled to the teeth. When I look at what I see, I could truly say that's all me. Pack my things up, make some pit stops. Catch me in the hilltops on the side of the country. Came back from being down 1-3. We the 16 Cavaliers, whole team hungry. Keep the family roots like we came from one tree. One branch, one leaf.
And we don't never compete. Yeah, the roads is bumpy. Sipping bubbly, now we living comfy. I be chillin' with my son, watching Teletubbies. Got a fine black woman and she call me hubby. I feel sorry for the woman who had tried to dub me. Now they wonder how my life turned out, come see. I pay my bills monthly, and I don't never rush things. It's just me and my brother and we stay hungry. Now we traveling the countries, which is very humbling. Cause coming from where we from, we done seen the ugly. Used to rock rugby, yeah, late night trooping. We would go to Stumpy's and cop fried dumplings. Ice up, ice up, ice up, ice up.
Duffel bag filled to the T. When I look at what I see, I could truly say that's all me. Pack my things up, make some pit stops. Catch me in the hilltops on the side of the country. Came back from being down 1-3. We the 16 Cavaliers, whole team hungry. Keep the family roots like we came from one tree. One branch, one leaf.
Oh my god, I'm finally home. Hello. If there's sparkles, it's just the disco ball time of day, so we're just gonna have to live with that. I don't think I'll be here too long. I just needed to give an update on bookshops and bone dust. Maybe this is distracting. I guess I will move it. Okay. This is my little library disco ball planter that the roomies got for me for my birthday. That might have been 2 years ago they got this for me, but it hangs in my little library / journaling space, and I love it very much. Okay, so I'm back from vacation, obviously, but it's also been like a couple of weeks since getting back from vacation, and I have to edit this vlog, my vacation vlog, one or two other secret things. So it's just, we're back to completely overcommitting, and I'm not very good at doing the casual vlog, am I? Because I'm about to overcommit some more, I think. This is what I started this vlog wanting to accomplish, and today, September 2nd, I finished Bookshops and Bone Dust. I have finished Amari and the Great Game. I'm about halfway through The World We Make, and I was able to renew the audiobook from my library, so that is the next top priority. But man, there really are some more on this limbo shelf that I would like to just get done, you know? Some of them have been there for like almost 2 years. So I think we're gonna extend this vlog. Also, I have finished both of these and I did not give either of them 5 stars. So we're still in the drought technically for this video. There is a book that I read in August that I gave 5 stars that you'll see in a separate video, but for our purposes, I still have not read a 5-star for this vlog, and only one other 5-star since February. Like, it's wild to me. Amari, I'm giving a 4 stars because I really loved the like dual secret life, public life, both have really high stakes like mysteries, plots going on, and the way that they all converged. However, I did feel like it was a little bit easy and convenient at the end, which is kind of what I was saying with like not holding the readers' hands, readers being like kids as the target audience, with middle grade. I felt like the ending was just a little bit easy. So it's setting up, obviously it's like a big series. The 3rd book is out now as I film this early September. So I'm excited to be continuing the series. I have only high hopes for where it goes, but I felt like the last like quarter of this book just wasn't as strong as like the rest of it I felt was. Definitely not a bad reading experience by any stretch of the imagination. I very thoroughly loved everything about this book. I just needed a little bit more oomph creative problem solving work just a little bit more for it at the end. But I'll be excited to see where it goes next. So that was Amari, book 2. I also forgot that I had a signed edition because I read this on audio, so I just went to go grab this book off my shelf and was like, oh yeah! I fully forgot that I had a signed copy, which is, I love. Bookshops and Bone Dust I also finished, and I'm giving this also a 4 stars. And this is a rare case of, I was honestly feeling probably more of a 3, maybe 3.5 star feeling, but then I finished it, the ending was pretty good, and then I read the acknowledgements, and like, I always read the acknowledgements as just like little extra credit, peek behind the curtain, but reading the acknowledgements actually made me like the book more, and I don't know how many books I can really say that for. Like, it raised my opinion and overall experience of the book having read the acknowledgements. It just is so interesting to me. But overall, we're giving her a 4 stars. I loved getting a history of Viv, who is the main character in Legends and Lattes, which takes place like 20 years after Bookshops and Bone Dust. The cast of characters in this book is just so well done. Like, they're all just so, they are like fantasy characters. Like, we have this like Griffith dog bird pet. There's Viv, who's an orc, and then there's Fern, who's a ratkin, and there's plenty of other characters of other different like fantasy races, and it just was so wonderful because they all still felt so real and human, in air quotes, because obviously they aren't human. It's just like they have flaws and hopes and dreams and strengths and weaknesses and self-sabotage and things they need to work through, and quirks and personality traits. Like, all of the characters really were the strength of the story. And something that was very interesting to me about this one is I felt that it was a very slow, character-driven story in a high fantasy setting, which kind of keeps with Travis Baldry's MO, where Legends and Lattes is a cozy, low-stakes fantasy with a high fantasy setting. A novel of high fantasy and low stakes is what the like subtitle is. And however, I felt like the stakes were still pretty darn high, and this was still very plot driven for what Legends and Lattes says that it is. I gave this book 5 stars when I read it. And Bookshops and Bone Dust, I felt you're still very much feeling the high fantasy environment, but it takes a back seat because Viv, as this is the prequel to Legends and Lattes, she gets injured in this like very early phase of her like adventuring career, and so she has to stay behind in this like sleepy small fantasy beach town while the rest of her adventuring party continues on the mission without her. So it's like intentionally taking a step back from the high fantasy being front and center, which Legends and Lattes is the same, but then it's mostly character driven, which is not a bad thing. It just took me for a spin a little bit, and I felt like the pacing of this book was interesting, which could be my own fault for having read it in such a long span of time, but the first, 3/4 of this book were very slow, not in a bad way, just in we're taking our time in this quiet beach town, and the character's learning a lot about herself. She's building all of these new relationships with this very comfortable and charming cast of characters. And then the last quarter of the book is just breakneck, rapid pace. So a little bit of whiplash, a little bit of disconnect, and just the pacing. Like, it was exciting, it was good, I was thoroughly entertained. I just can't really put my finger on, like, there just was something that didn't quite work as far as the overall reading experience. But then, like I said, the acknowledgements / like author's note alone really softened my cold, dead heart a little bit. So points, extra credit points, I guess. That means that these are both 4 stars. And I am really hoping that the world we make could be 5 stars, but I just don't know. It's not really grabbing me. I'm about halfway through. N.K. Jemisin, it's doing the N.K. Jemisin thing. Like, it's using every cell in my brain is focused on understanding and parsing what's happening in the foreshadowing and the character moments and the 3 things being told to you at once, and just the way that only N.K. Jemisin can do it, where every word, every sentence, it serves like a multi-purpose. So it's a very like thinking, brainy fantasy, which I love, and I don't know that it needs it. We got so much of that build-up, backstory, character, relationships done in the first book. The first book is also quite dense. There's just so much still. This is like the second book, the final book in the duology. We should be past the like midpoint to be just thrown into conflict and stickiness and action for like, you know, in the second half of a fantasy overall story. And I just feel like we're still like laying bricks. I don't know. I am struggling. Not struggling. I think this is probably also headed for 4 stars, which is the curse of my reading year. I'm reading pretty good books this year so far, and I've read very few books that I feel have been like, wow, amazing, fantastic. But I've read a lot of pretty good books this year. I hope that I'm wrong. I hope that this turns a 50% corner and just blows me away. And I think that it might. I just don't know if it will really get me all the way to where I want it to be. We'll see. I feel like all I do in these updates is I'm like, here's what I'm reading. I'm gonna go clean my house, because that's the life that I live. Is like, all I do right now is work and hang out with my boyfriend. And when I'm not doing that, I'm like, oh man, I want to vacuum. I need to clean my kitchen. So I'm gonna go listen to more of my audiobook and do some little chores. Actually, I do have to get on a call in about 15 minutes. I'm an advisor for my university sorority that I was a part of back in college, that now I advise the chapter, and it's about that time where they do fall recruitment. It's September. Anyways, so I gotta go talk to them about that. I'm gonna whisper this since we're friends, but I had an interview this morning. And I really, really want it. And my final interview is later this week. And by the time this video goes out, I will know whether or not I got the job, which means by the time this video goes out, my life could be changing a lot. We'll see. I'm really hopeful. It would be really, really amazing and just such a blessing for me for this opportunity, and I am really crossing my fingers while also trying not to get too attached, because it would be just so perfect, and I know that I'll be disappointed if it doesn't work out, but also it's okay. Like, I'm willing to be disappointed. Like, the risk is worth it, you know? So anyways, I felt like it was a good interview, and I'm excited and nervous about the final round in a couple days, and I'll keep you updated. Lots of exciting things happening, but for now, I'm gonna go listen to more of my audiobook, and then once this is done, we'll see how long it actually takes me to get through the rest of this audiobook before I really commit to adding more into this vlog. Because I have so many videos in the process that I probably need to just start finishing some of these videos, but I keep looking at my books in progress. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm sorry to just keep you going, but that's where I'm at. Okay, we'll talk soon. I want you to guess right now how long it's been. I want you to guess right now what month you think it is. If my hair and the put togetherness of my shelves is any indication, it's been some time. And the life update, while you're guessing, since we last spoke, which was I think maybe September, in that time I did get that job, which means I put in notice and left my last job, transitioned into starting my new job. It's just been a lot of big, exciting, good, wonderful changes in my life, but that is a huge contributing factor as to why I dropped off the face of the earth on YouTube the last 6 months, even really the last year. Like, most of last year, we were settling into living here, and then the second half of the year was like me rapidly applying, trying to switch jobs, then switching jobs, adjusting to that. My new job also comes with some travel, so it's just been like getting used to everything. But it's finally like settled. I feel great. It's the life that I have imagined for myself, basically. Like, I'm overall thrilled to the moon for all of these wonderful changes the last like year or so, but like a lot has happened. So YouTube has faced the brunt of that, but now again, like, I feel like I'm settled. I really miss YouTube, and I feel like I'm at a place in my routine where I can start to bring it back. And if I'm coming back, I'm coming back to do it seriously, like to do it for real, because now I have the time, I have the space, and I have the like clarity of what I want to make, which I cannot say that I've had in the last 4 or 5 years since starting this channel during COVID. So I have all the right ingredients. Now it's just a matter of making the time and staying consistent with it to come back. So hello, the answer to what month is it is mid-February of 2025. Today is the day of the Super Bowl, so it's the 9th, Sunday, February 9th right now. And this morning, I just finished The World We Make. Finally, dude, after I pre-ordered a signed edition when it came out years ago, I finished it today. And I truly feel so accomplished. I should not feel that accomplished, but I do. Especially because I didn't love it. Which sucks. I also have just started editing this video in my, just dipping my toe into thinking about posting videos again. It's like, wow, I have so much footage without even trying to start new projects. I can finish the projects that have been on the back burner, which just the irony now is hitting me of like finishing books that have been on my shelf for too long. Now I'm also finishing videos that have been on the shelf. And what really has been cracking me up as I've edited the first 20 minutes or so of this video from the last 6 months was several times I'm like, we're gonna keep it easy, we're gonna keep it chill, never mind, I'm not really capable of that, we're gonna do a whole thing, because I'm here to tell you we are doing a whole thing. And now maybe it almost looks intentional, like, yep, another 6-month project that's been really involved. I truly just have not had the time or energy or space in my brain to be making content the last several months, but the time is now. We're wrapping up my currently reading, clearing that shit out, and we're clearing out the content shelves of stuff that I've just had sitting cooking in the oven for way too long. There are several things. You're gonna see footage from like our old house, like probably 2-year-old footage for some of these projects. And some of them I am just like killing that don't need to be resurrected now. Like, I just don't think they're relevant or would make fun videos anymore. But you will see some truly ancient footage at some point as I organize and get my life together for this next little era of the channel. All of that said, okay, let that be our life update. Sorry it's been so long, but I am doing much better as far as my like work-life balance. Mental health is the best it's been in the last probably 2 or 3 years, largely because of now my new job. So life updated. And now here's what we're gonna do with the rest of this video. I did finish The World We Make earlier this morning, so we can talk about that. And also, I've been hinting at my like currently reading shelf this whole video, and I'm gonna show you what that currently looks like, and we're gonna clear that shit out together the rest of this video. There's 3 more. There's 3 more. This clip probably is like the midpoint of the video, because I know you're like, oh, life update, now what? There's 3 more books I want to finish, and they're juicy ones. So first things first, The World We Make, the second and final book in the Great Cities duology, after The City We Became. This did not impress me. I'm giving this a 3 stars, which feels like a generous 3 stars. It's probably more of a 2.5, but I just cannot fathom giving N.K. Jemisin less than 3 stars. Like, that just feels so wrong in my head. Like, I don't understand. Something just did not click for me with this book. Like, I don't know what it is. It just felt like the entire book was just more world building and more exposition and more just characters randomly having conversations. I didn't feel at any point really that the plot was like progressing. It was just so much like the world building was the plot. And I know that's really the point of this duology, is like the characters very, very, very literally are the world and the setting. So maybe it just didn't work for me as like a foundational level. I don't know, but I just was so fatigued by like the constant non-momentum world building, more and more and more. And I swear to God, the last like 5% of this big ass dense urban fantasy, the last 5%, there's one quick and dirty action sequence that is over so fast, and all of the problems are resolved. Like in probably 5 pages, we got one like big final, like the finale scene where everything in the series wraps up together. I found it to be so easy, and it was really just kind of explained again, just like more world building as the conclusion to the story. And again, I realized that like the book is called The World We Make. You know, like, of course, world building, world making is the heart of the story. I just felt like that could have been done with a little more excitement, a little more oomph. But I'm thrilled to have finally finished it. The City We Became, the first book, there's like dust and dog hair on this one. The first book, loved this. I think I gave this a 4 stars. The World We Make, something about it just didn't work for me, but that's all right. I'm excited to have this finally completed and together on my shelf, because, like I've said, I keep my read books shelved and my unread or currently reading books in a separate space. So now what? We've read 3 books for this vlog, and I'm gonna have to probably slice and dice, because we should not be 40 minutes into the video by this point. And I think a lot of it is me being like rusty and rambly, and also excited to be talking to a camera again. So I'm gonna have to edit myself pretty heavily, I think. But for the rest, the second half of this video, I'll show you, here's my currently reading shelf. It's where I like house the dust jackets and physical books, like if I'm reading the audiobook, or dust jackets if I'm reading the hardcover, etc. It's this little shelf. Okay, So these are physical books that I'm reading. These are dust jackets for hardcovers that I'm reading. They live here until I finish them. I just took everything off. So we're doing a full audit of my currently reading limbo shelf. The two absolute ridiculous priorities that I'm finishing in this video now, 100% it's happening, is Romantic Outlaws, which is a nonfiction about Mary Shelley, the author of Frankenstein, and her mother, Mary Wollstonecraft, who was also one of the first, like, modern feminist writers. And I read the first half of this when I read for my Frankenstein vlog, like 2.5 years ago. Since probably 2022. This has been sitting on my currently reading shelf, and I don't have a good reason for why I never finished it. It just, honestly, I think it was like, great, I finished that video, and then I was always doing other things. Like, I never felt like, okay, let me go pick up that book that I was really loving. Let me just go finish that book that I was deeply enjoying and annotating. And now it's been over 2 years since I've cracked it. Like, I know that I was, like, annotating and highlighting to my little heart's content. I was having a great time with this, but it is a dense dual biography. Like, this is maybe 700 pages, and it's just a lot of history and facts. As juicy and good as it is, I remember feeling like I could really only do, like, a chapter or two at a time. But we're gonna finish this. I can't believe it's been this long. I cannot wait to have this out of my currently reading on Storygraph also. I'm so tired of it just shaming me for the last several years. Currently reading, supposedly, for the last 2 years. I'll be so excited to finally put this on my shelf with, like, the other Mary Shelley books that I have. Another one in kind of a similar boat, but I don't think it's been quite as long, maybe just under 2 years, is Pod by Laline Paull. And I remember really loving this also. This I read for one of the Women's Prize for Fiction vlogs that never saw the light of day because I just crashed and burned, and then it was long past like the Women's Prize awards, and I was like, never mind, whatever. But this probably would have been the highlight of that video had I finished reading for that video. This is a book about a pod of dolphins from the point of view of the dolphins. Like, it's so kooky and weird and delightful and refreshing and different, and I love what I have read so far. It looks like I'm about halfway through this one also, but I feel like it's still pretty fresh. Like, I remember a lot of the things and characters that were happening for not reading it in a long time. This is probably summer of 2023, if I had to guess, but I'll check Storygraph for the actual receipts. So these two have been truly just sitting on my physical limbo shelf and in my currently reading Storygraph shelf. And it is time. If there ever was a time to finish these, it's now. Like, it's now. I will feel so accomplished to finally be able to put these on my shelf. I can't wait. I'm like, that is motivation enough to be like, yep, next chapter, literally next chapter. We're not carrying books from 2022 with us that we haven't finished yet. Obviously, I've DNF'd books, but it's like, I have no intention to DNF either of these. It's just like, I just haven't finished them, so that's what we're gonna do. Number 1 and 2 top priorities. And then the third one that is not nearly as egregious, but still is like, has been on that shelf for longer than I'm comfortable, is Legendborn. This is just the dust jacket, because again, that's where I keep them when I read my hardcovers. Legendborn, I think I've been reading this since October, so like 3 or 4 months I've been reading Legendborn. And I don't think I even got very far into it, maybe like 20% on the audiobook. So this also I would love to finish and get off my currently reading, especially because the next book in the series comes out soon. I think like the third book in the series comes out in the next few months, so I need to catch up in the series. Legendborn is a young adult fantasy inspired by like the Arthurian legends, like the Knights of the Round Table and stuff, and it's just such a fun and different take on like retellings in fantasy. Maybe I just haven't read like Arthurian retellings, but it's so fun to read a retelling that's like not Greek mythology. And I love a Greek mythology retelling, but like I just love the difference. Like it's just something new, you know, with the same like retelling things that we all know and love. So this will probably be the last one in this vlog that I actually get to, because I'm just truly itching to finish these 2 ancient reads. And then we'll wrap it up with Legendborn. The other books on that currently reading shelf that you probably glimpsed, one is Yagessi's Transcendent Kingdom. I'm not including this in this vlog because I only started this a few days ago, so it doesn't really fit the vibe, and I have no intention of letting it sit on that shelf for years or months. So I'm not worried about this one falling into the same trap. She will be finished very soon, regardless of this video. The other 2 little dust jackets on there, one is 1,000 Words by Jamie Attenberg. This I don't even think is on my like storygraph currently reading, but this is a book, it's like kind of a book of essays / inspiration from a bunch of different writers. And I've kind of just been flipping through and reading 1 or 2 pages, 1 or 2 authors' contributions at a time. It's not like I'm in a rush to like finish it or complete it. So I'm not including it in this video, but the dust jacket is on that shelf. So while we're doing an audit, for the sake of transparency. And the other dust jacket on there is This Ravenous Fate by BookTube's own Haley Dennings, Pages of Haley. And this I will be finishing very soon, but it's part of a different video that I have in the works. So again, you won't see me talk about it in this cleaning out my currently reading video, but you will see it very soon. And that is everything that has been on my currently reading shelf. I'm staring at an empty little bamboo limbo shelf. It's truly, I don't think I've ever seen it look like that. I don't know, I said Legendborn would be the last one, and I don't know which of these I will start with next. I have not been able to find the audiobook for Pod anywhere. I don't know if there is an audiobook for Pod. And I think that I did have an audio for Romantic Outlaws, but I also I remember enjoying like annotating, like listening and reading at the same time with my highlighter was I think how I got through the first half of this. So these both probably will be sit down reads. So maybe I will read Legendborn sooner, because I like to just have an audiobook while I like clean the house, etc. But that's enough yapping out of me for this segment, but welcome to the extraness, long-form version of this vlog, which I think we all knew it would be from the beginning, whenever that was, like July, over 6 months ago. I just need to start trusting and accepting that that's what I have become. That's what I do now, I guess. That's it. I'll let you know when I have an update. Okay. Love you, bye. Good morning, or whenever it is for you. It's Sunday morning for me, like late morning. It's actually closer to noon. It's after 11. But I have a lot I would like to get done today, so I'm just going to take you along with me, because I think I am going to finish Legendborn today. And I think I told you that Legendborn would be the last book, but I needed just an audiobook, like, to be listening to while I did things, as opposed to just, like, sitting and reading. So I needed the audio. So I'm like 3/4 of the way through with Legendborn, and I'm loving it. Loving it. The funny thing about it is I keep telling Wes as I'm reading it, like, I'm loving the vibes. I was excited about it, partly because it's like Arthurian legend retelling fantasy, and it's making me realize that I actually know nothing about Arthurian legend, because there's so much like packed in, just the lore and the world and the magic and the like competing factions and the history and the like the rules. I think that's Brandon Sanderson that is known for saying like the rules and the limitations is what makes a fantasy and a magic system so interesting. And I like this book is making me see how true that is, because all of the different powers and the tethers and the restrictions make it so much richer when those powers or those things are able to happen, or you see the consequences of these big magical things able to happen. I'm kind of jumping ahead of myself, but Legendborn, if you don't know, is about our main character, Bree Matthews, who is going to college for her first year. And I want to say she's like early admission to college. So she's young, she's brand new, and she has an ulterior motive for also being at this specific college. It's University of North Carolina, I think. Part of her motive is that her mother also went to this college, who shortly in the recent past before the start of the book, Bree's mother died, and Bree is trying to uncover the secrets and the circumstances of her mother's death, and she gets involved with the Order, which is kind of like the modern secret society vibes of the Knights of the Round Table and King Arthur. And it's so, I never hear anyone include this book in like dark academia conversations, and maybe that's bold to say when I'm 2/3, 3/4 of the way through the first book of a series. I really feel like we should be talking about this as a dark academia contender, because we've got studies, we've got secret magic, we've got like dark magic, we have forbidden magic, we have ancestry, we have, did I already say secret societies? It takes place on a college campus where there's lots of murky, evil history going on as it pertains to our main character in particular. It's scratching all of the right itches as far as what I want from like a dark academia. So I was surprised to find that in this book. I did not have that expectation. I was just like, cool, like a fantasy retelling on a college campus. But it also is kind of hitting that spot of like dark academia light. Like diet dark academia, I guess. So I will be finishing this today, the audiobook, and my struggle, I think I told you I couldn't find the audiobook for Pod, it's because it turns out it's an Audible exclusive audiobook, which is just so, that will be my villain origin story. Why do we make anything exclusive to Audible? Like, that also wipes it out from the library availability. Like, the audiobook exists, but you can't get it unless you subscribe to Audible. I hate that so much. I'm not subscribed to Audible. I don't want to be subscribed to Audible. Anyways, so I will be reading the last 150 pages physically of Pod in the next couple of days, and then the last one that I'm kind of procrastinating because I think I'll have to end up going back to the audio is Romantic Outlaws. And I can get the audiobook, but when I was reading it originally, I was doing the like tandem physical read with my highlighter and listening to it, and that was a really delicious experience, but I might have to just settle for the audiobook alone so I can wrap this up, because I don't know how much like leisure sit down reading time I'm gonna have in the next 3 to 4 days, which is when I need to have everything done so I can finish this and edit this. So that's where I'm at. That's going to be the order, is Legendborn, Pod, Romantic Outlaws. I also did finish Transcendent Kingdom. I'm not really going to talk about that in this vlog because there was never a single point where it was like sitting and collecting dust on my currently reading shelf. But I did read that in the last week. It was fantastic. Oh, which reminds me, as far as our 5-star drought, this is smelling like maybe a 5-star. I'm between right now it's feeling like a 4.5. But there's 100 pages left. Like, there's plenty of potential for it to boost up to that 5-star. So I'm hoping. So, okay. Hello, good morning. I'm taking you with me today. I need to do at least a couple hours of work today, which is not how I like to spend my Sundays, but I need to do a little bit before my work week starts, like an hour now and an hour later tonight, just to get myself like on track. This is my like work desk here. It's like my little workstation. So that has to happen. I gotta do a little bit of work. I want to do my daily tarot cards for myself. Oh yeah, yesterday in my time, I posted my first video back on the channel, which was like this total kooky, funny, pick a card reading in a totally different style than any of y'all, my subscribers, are used to. So that's been fun, kind of seeing the reactions and being back and everything. So I'm just feeling good. I'm feeling good. So I'm gonna read my tarot cards for myself, do my little journal, do some work, and then I might go get donuts to reward myself. We live basically 2 doors down from a donut shop, so I might take a little donut walk if it's not too late by then, because again, it's like basically noon. So I gotta get a move on. I might switch around some things on my work desk setup versus my like PC, like gaming desk setup. I do technically have 2 offices. I don't know what to tell you. It became a necessity when I started working from home. Like I needed the separation. But now that I've been doing it for a few months, I want to make some tweaks, and I think I want to put this display back in that room. So I might just put the rest of Legendborn on and listen and do some rearranging. But I gotta get through the eating my vegetables part of my day and just get some work out of the way, and then we can continue. So that's where we're at.
Yeah.
Let's go.
New shoes on a Friday morning. New look, still can't hide my born. I got a pocket full of change-ups. I switch hit, I'm a stranger. Consist on ain't something I could say well. Throw my change into the wishing for a change well. Wish a day a swell life for the next come. And when the next come, pretend that it's the best one. Like I ain't even gonna try and say that to the next one. Switch my living situation every chance that I be getting. Sick of running laps on Sisyphus's treadmill. Man, I really need to sit still. Seems like that ain't something I can instill.
Ebb and flow, I can't hold on to you very much longer.
Yeah.
Might have to slip away.
Can't you sit still for a little bit? Can't you sit still for a little? Can't you sit still for a little bit? Can't you sit still? Teacher told me need to get that pencil up out of my nose. Can't hold on a singular pose. Switch from to to fro when the wind gon' blow. And it's hurricane season everywhere that I roam. I like quick fixes and not working at all. Don't switch lanes, drive my car straight off of the road. I got split personalities inside of my soul. Each day I find a new one to hold.
Ebb and flow, I can't hold on to you very much longer. Might have to slip away.
That was probably a good like hour and a half. It's a little after 2. Also, the donut shop was closed. We went at noon and they were supposed to be open until 2. That's just like classic small town donut shop. But I was like whining to Wes. I'm like, man, I even put pants on and everything. And Wes is like, that's what needs to be in your B-roll. Like, what are you doing? Anyways, so I did not get donuts, but I did work for an hour and a half. I still need another chunk later today, but I did everything else except for like my chunk of a project, so that's fine. So what I need to do is eat something, because I was planning on having donuts for brunch, and now that's not an option. So I need to find something to eat, and then read Legendborn. And we'll be just continuing our Sunday. I'm also watching as I worked. Just like the timing worked out so perfectly also, but I've been watching Sid's Greenhouse patron reading sprints, which has been delightful, and she just started another sprint. I've also been playing more Stardew Valley, because when am I not playing more Stardew Valley? Okay, but it's such a good game for playing and listening to audiobooks. Maybe it wouldn't be if you're like new to the game, but I've played hundreds and hundreds of hours of Stardew Valley. Like it really is like a turn off my brain game in the best way possible for me. So it's a great audiobook activity for me. And what I really want to do is just like get cozy, get some food, continue the like ambiance of the day. And I want to play more Stardew Valley with Legendborn, but I think before I let myself do that, I know that I'll feel better and accomplished if I just do the like setup switcheroo that I want to do with my two like desks. So I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to eat, I'm going to listen to my audiobook while I move some shit around, and then I'm going to continue listening to my audiobook and playing some Stardew while I do it. That's the plan.
Hello, Ramona. I can't shake the simplest feeling beyond the ghost. We stand on the opposite shore. Hello, Ramona. I reach through mysterious ceilings, my only hope. I look for the things I don't know. I stand alone. Show me where the ending goes. Honest, honestly don't. I should be the last to know. We're all in this. I stand alone. Show me where the ending goes. Honest, honestly don't. I should be the last to know. Hello, Ramona. I mistook you for a dream. The engine glows, and I guess you always seem to know. Hello, Ramona. I push back the serious feeling. The end's unknown. To get back the life I used to know. I stand alone. Show me where the ending goes. Honest, honestly don't. I should be the last to know. We're all in this. I stand alone.
Hello. It's Wednesday, February 26th. I had all morning meetings this morning, which means I just took a luxurious shower for lunch, and I have to lock in this afternoon for the rest of my workday. First, I want to update you, because again, we're in the home stretch, crunch time. I finished pod last night, which means we only have the chunky, intimidating brick of Romantic Outlaws remaining. I'm like exactly halfway. So that's gonna be the gauntlet to finish us out. But I want to talk to you about this delightful little book. Sorry, we're just gonna have to deal with the sparkles and rainbows today. The sun is out. The window crystals are doing their thing. I have no idea where to start with this book. Why did it take me like over 2 years to finish it? I don't know. It should not have. It's a short read. I don't even think it's 300 pages long. No, it's like literally 250 pages. Double spaced. Easy, should have been an easy, quick read. I loved this. Like, I finished the last, 60 pages or something last night. I loved this. Not enough for a 5-star, I don't think. But like a 4? Alright, this pimple patch is like starting to peel off. It's just gonna be there. For most of the book, I was feeling like a 3-ish. Like, dolphins, literary fiction. I have no idea what to expect. And I have no frame of reference for anything similar to like compare to. So we're just taking a shot in the dark here to start this book. But the way that this goes, the things that this short little weird book about dolphins from dolphins' perspectives is able to accomplish is so impressive and unique and just magical. Like, it's really gonna stick with me. This has really left an impression on me. The way that everything all comes together, the last couple of chapters, just, like, I feel like I'm not making sense, but this book follows a couple of different non-human ocean creatures as the main characters. So there's a couple of different perspectives of different ocean creatures, a couple of main dolphins, and then there's 1 or 2 non-dolphin perspectives that you get a little bit throughout the book. And it all makes sense. Like, everything gets wrapped up in such an just... I'm like incoherent. This book is really special and really unique. I've never read anything like this before. This author also has a book from before this was published called The Bees, that I think is her more popular work from the perspective of bees. And I am now so interested in picking that up, because I really am so glad that I stuck this out and never properly DNF'd this, because this is a really special read, and I wish and I hope to see more people picking it up and talking about it. I'm stunned. I will say, to go into this without too many expectations, and also this might be an odd thing to say about a book about dolphins from a non-human POV, but like, there are some trigger warnings. It's wild animals and nature, and there are scenes of animals copulating from perspectives where both parties are not super into it. Okay? I don't know. If you are a weird girl fiction book, if you are a environmental fiction book, if you are a nature fiction, literary fiction person, and you just need something different and refreshing, that's also, I was gonna say a quick read, but obviously it wasn't a quick read for me, but it should have been. This is a fast-paced, short book. Like, it should be a quick read. I really recommend this. I'm so surprised and happy to finally have finished this. I am going to think very fondly of this, and I think it's gonna stick in my head for a long time. Yeah, who knew? Dolphin book. Loved it. Which means I'm left with Romantic Outlaws. I really should not be dreading this. I actually cannot even tell you how tickled I am at my currently reading on Storygraph right now. It's 2 books. It's 2. I don't think it's been 2 since I created my Goodreads account. Before I even migrated my data to Storygraph, I don't think my currently reading has been 2 in probably like 6 years. And we're going to keep, not that it's always going to be 2, but I want it to be books that I'm actually actively currently reading, especially because Storygraph now has a feature where you can pause. So like the statuses for your books are like to be read, currently reading, paused, and did not finish. And I love them. I'm just obsessed with Storygraph. So anyways, this and one other book for a different vlog are the only 2 books I'm currently reading right now, and I'm obsessed. I'm so excited to like finally check this off. What is kind of causing me this like stress, I guess, is that it's dense biographical nonfiction, and getting to halfway, I was like dual reading, whatever, like tandem reading, where like listening to the audio and physically reading with my highlighter. And I really loved that experience, but I might need to just audiobook for the next couple of days. And if I feel like I'm getting lost or whatever, I'm just gonna have to sit down and read it. Because I need an audiobook for the rest of the week anyway, and I just refuse to start anything else before I finish this book. This has been a little bit of my white whale the last few years. And like Pod, there's no good reason that I let this sit as long as I did. And I can't wait to finally get it off that list. So this one's gonna bring us home. And then it's gonna be a whole new world. A blank slate. A blank slate. No skeletons in the closet. I think I mentioned before that this is a dual biography of Mary Shelley, author of Frankenstein and a bunch of other good stuff, and her mother, Mary Wollstonecraft, who was also a ahead of her time feminist writer. And Mary Wollstonecraft died shortly after giving birth to Mary Shelley. So even though there are just all these parallels in the 2 of their lives, even though they never really got to meet each other, it's fascinating, and I'm only halfway through. So I'm excited to finish. I'm a little bit apprehensive of what my leisure time, reading time is going to look like the next couple days, but I think that it will be worth it. So I'll take you along the next couple days. I got to get through my work day today. It's like Wednesday around noon right now, and it has been a really great week for my work week. Wes is making tiramisu right now because he's off on Wednesdays. So it's just like a cozy, chill midweek work day for me. And I'm going to finish out my day and then read some biography. Okay, bye. Hello. It's March 4th. So for those of you following along at home, this was another 6-month, 7-month project for no reason. Technically, it was like a 2.5-year project. if we want to get really specific and ugly like that. But I have done it. Which really... Let's boogie. Cheers. My currently reading shelf is 1. And it's an actual current read that I am currently actively reading. What a feeling. What a rush. What a feeling. I have this gigantic pile that we need to go through. There's also 2 books I still need to actually talk to you about. I didn't forget about Legendborn. I kind of did, but I saved it for last for a reason. This is a crazy pile of books, and it's so satisfying because how often do I actually own every book that I read for a project? Never. Like, I actually own all of these, and now they get to live on my actual shelves instead of my limbo or TBR shelves. Again, what a rush. Wow, my chair is spinning. This is the pile, technically, that I read for this vlog. These top 2, we don't really need to worry about. Okay, those are bonuses for funsies. The rest of these, though... Let me drop this before I injure myself. Wow. Alright. Okay. Let me organize myself. These 2 we have to talk about. These we already read. Now, I am losing my light, which is very me finishing a project. It's like, just do the last 5% and then we can call it done. So what I'm gonna do is go over all of them. Editing me will then put in, like, the amount of time from when I first started the book to finishing the book. Before all of that, though, I do need to talk to you about these last 2 reads. Let's talk about Legendborn first. Because she has broken the 5-star drought. Let me not bury the lead, first of all. Legendborn, before I tell you a single thing about my thoughts, Legendborn gets a enthusiastic, resounding 5 stars from me, which again, I wasn't sure I could do that. Like, it had been a moment. It had been some time since I had a 5-star read, and this just reinforced for me, like, oh yeah, no, I can still recognize it. I do still have the taste, the 5-star radar. I do still like to read, who knew? And this is one of those. Wow. Also, the 3rd and final book in the trilogy came out today, March 4th, so I will be very excited to continue on with the 2nd book and then be up and current with the series with Oathbound that just came out today. Wow, I'm so excited. I'm trying to remember what I already told you about this book, but it taught me that, one, I actually knew nothing about the legend of Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table, and it was really fun. I think that actually helped my reading experience by having absolutely no idea the plot beats of the original story itself, because this was so fun. This was so fun. And there was a point, I think I was maybe like 2/3, 3/4 of the way through, where I was already feeling like, this could be a 4, this could be a 4.5, it might be a 5. And let me tell you, the ending of this book was extra credit. She was already a 5-star, and the last 20 pages or so just really cemented that. The ending was already great, okay? And then there was this huge twist, and I was like, wow, what an ending. What an ending. And then there was another one. Just for a gold star. Just because we could. Just because Tracy could do that. Like, this was a delight and a treasure. And I clearly don't have, like, profound words to say other than I'm just happy to have enthusiastically and wholeheartedly enjoyed a read like this again after so long. This will be joining my fantasy shelf of honor very soon, and I truly cannot wait to continue this series. On to the pile. The last one that I finished for this project, which has been on my currently reading shelf since October of 2022. It's like 2.5 years. It is Romantic Outlaws. She's done. She's done. I finished her. Do you see this? This is biography. Non-fiction pages. Read her. Feel pretty good about it. The only reason that I had been putting this off, okay, maybe there's 2 reasons. One is that after I finished the Frankenstein vlog that I did, it was like, not that I wasn't enjoying this, but like, now what's the reason? What's the rush to pick this back up and continue it? Like, I'd already completed the project, you know? So the dopamine addicted part of my brain was like, that assignment has already been graded. I already turned that in. I don't need to keep working on that assignment. But like, what a silly complex in my head. Like, the rest of this book, the second half of this dual biography, was the best half. Like, because this is telling the story of both of their lives, Mary Shelley and Mary Wollstonecraft, it goes back and forth. Every chapter is the other Mary. And so as the biography continues, you get into the middle of their lives, and then eventually to the end of their lives, and then what happens after their deaths for both of them. So the second half of this book, while uncomfortable and like frustrating at times, just knowing the things they went to and how they were treated or what happened to their reputation, etc. Like, the second half of this book was the best half of this book. So it's just silly that I, like, procrastinated it because it just didn't feel urgent. I don't know, like, it's so funny to me. The other thing is, she's chunky. Like, I am someone who enjoys nonfiction already, and I am still intimidated by chunky nonfiction. All of that to say, this was a very accessible and exciting biography. Like, I think what turns people off of nonfiction is, like, it doesn't feel like a story. It feels like a textbook, or maybe that's the assumption. This did not feel like a textbook. This felt like a story with two timelines. Like, it's a case of life, in this case 2 lives, being stranger than fiction. Like, you could not make some of this shit up. And the fact that it's a mother-daughter who never really met. Like, Mary Shelley was a week old when Mary Wollstonecraft died. But their lives are so, like, mirror each other so eerily. It's good. It's good. And I think I rated this a 5 stars in the moment that I finished it, and I think I'm gonna go back to 4.5. One, because, like, okay, it did take me 2.5 years to finish it. And 2, yeah, like, they're both named Mary, but I feel like the author could have done a little bit more for dummies like me. It was confusing every chapter to, like, reorient myself to which Mary it was. Again, I know that's so fucking picky, but, like, it just, I don't know, that's, it was a factor. And the other thing is, so much of the research of this book was going through, letters of, I almost said the characters. That's how good this was. It was so much of the research was going through correspondence and letters of the people and historical figures that takes place in this book, because a lot of the scandalous and, questionable things that these women were getting up to have, like, some of those actions or decisions or conversations have been eroded by time, or were just blatantly lied about, or were told from a different light by people who wanted to hide their true intentions or hide their true nature or get back at them for something, or if they disagreed with them about acting a certain way, they would tell a completely different side or fabricated piece of the story. But, like, this is 200 plus years ago, so all we have are letters and records from different people, so you know that the author is trying to, like, triangulate and corroborate what was actually going on between diaries from the Marys and letters and other, like, texts and happenings that have prevailed, that have lasted through time, through the centuries. That's all we have. So I wanted more of, like, the evidence. And that's kind of contradictory to me feeling like it's great because it wasn't a textbook. There were, like, little one-liners that were directly quoted from a diary or from a letter. But I could have used more of that, because so much of it was like, no fucking way. Like, where's the receipts? Like, show me. Or she would say something like, these 3 people, I almost said characters again, these 3 people all told the story in different ways, and then Mary wrote in her diary how she actually felt about it, so here's what actually happened. And it's like, well, show your work a little bit. You know, I'm not doubting you as the biographer. It's, like, the opposite of, like, okay, you're a genius as the historian, like, hold my hand a little bit, walk me through how you can see these 3 different accounts of what happened, a first-hand account of what happened, and this other random thing that was published in the newspaper about what happened. Like, how are you taking all of that and getting to, here's the fact. Here's the fact 200 years later, that's what happened, without actually showing your work. Does that make sense? I don't know. I wanted more of the like behind the curtain. What are the actual receipts? Like, show your work. So I'm lowering my rating from a 5 to a 4.5. Like, all of that to say, this is still, I'm still so high on this book. This is such a good, juicy read as far as a engaging and accessible, delicious nonfiction choice. Obsessed. Love her. That's all I have to say. And she's off my shelf. Now, this gorgeous pink spine gets to live with my... You can't really see because it's getting dark. Where is it? Oh, you just simply can't see. It's right here, up in this corner, is where she's gonna live with my other pink classic books. Yeah, let's do this in a reverse order here. Because, again, these are the 6 books that have been cleared out, dusted off of my purgatory shelf. Cleared out. Bookshops and Bone Dust. Densky, I think I gave this 4 stars. Don't know how long it took me to read it, but to read it. But someone smarter than me will put that on the screen. Pod, laline Paull, also gave this a 4 stars. Freaking dolphins. Who knew, man? What a delight. The World We Make. What did we say about this one? I think 3 stars. Months. So happy that this is on my shelf now. Amari and the Great Game. Since reading this for this video, I have now read and completed the 3rd in the series and am awaiting the next book. So that's how long this video took me to bring to completion. But this I think I gave a 4 or a 4.5. And as we previously mentioned, the Big Kahuna Romantic Outlaws, 4.5 officially. And Miss Legendborn, what a treat. What a treat. 5 stars. Enthusiastic 5 stars for Legendborn. Also, I did bring these over just to mention that during the course of this video, I also read Jesse's Transcendent Kingdom. This I gave 5 stars also. So we officially have broken the 5-star drought with a vengeance. I read actually a bunch of 5 stars in February, this being one of them. This is about a neuroscientist who is dealing with the intersection of her PhD neurology, brain science, brain surgeon studies, and studying addiction and what that is doing in the brain, and also reckoning with her faith and her family and taking care of her aging mother. Just so many things all at once. It's such a short read. It's such a good read. I loved it. 5 stars. Did not take me very long. And I also read Miss Emily Henry's People We Meet on Vacation. This was super whatever. I thought it was an enjoyable read. I thought it was okay for friends to lovers. It took me maybe 2 days. So it's got that going for it. I think I gave this a 3. And that, my friends, is a TBR clear out. I tell you what. I cannot overstate how good this feels. Like that big ass stack of books I get to put on my shelves. And of course the poetry also is, I really am giving, this is giving Lord Farquaad. Bruh. What is happening? I don't know what's going on. The poetry is like, yes, this was me cleaning up reads and books I've been in the middle of for a while, but also the meta layer is like finishing up videos that have been on the back burner that I just have not been able to complete, you know? So we are crossing several things off of that list, making strides of growth in several different ways. I'm excited to get this video finished and done and edited and on to the next, you know, clearing out my backlist of video project purgatory is the unspoken but spoken thing here also, because I got a couple more of those that you're going to be seeing. I think I mentioned in my last video, like, there's some that you're going to see footage from, like, our old house, where that's been over a year and a half since we have even lived there. So that's where I'm at, but we're slowly going to get that out to the people. Yeah, thanks for watching. I know this was another long one. I hope you found it as satisfying as I did to clean it all out and start completely fresh and current. It is a great feeling, let me tell you. If you've got stuff kicking around, collecting dust on your currently reading shelf, I feel lighter, I feel inspired, like, maybe it's the Virgo in me, but it's really scratching an itch, knowing that it is cleared out. There is nothing sitting around from 2.5 years ago. What a feeling. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. I hope you're having a great day wherever you're at. If you want more from me, stick around. I'm going to be slowly coming back to being more present on YouTube. You can also follow me at Noelle7pages on Instagram. I also have a Substack that I will be reviving this spring as well, and I will leave the link in the description below. I also have a link to my affiliate shop on bookshop.org. You can shop all of my recent reads, including everything that was mentioned in this video, at no extra cost to you. It just kicks me back about like $1 per book. But you know, we love that. We love that. Girl's gotta get her coin, you know what I'm saying? Okay, that's where I will leave you. Thank you for being here. Give your dog a big ol' squeeze for me, and I will see you very soon. Love you, bye.